today we have started a session with Chef Soju Philip, who is a professional chef and has also got an award for writing a lot of books, and he's got an expertise with 25 years in the hospitality industry in various brands in India and abroad. He was also having a good career with Oberoi Bangalore, and he had also associated with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, because many students generally ask about the cruise lines. Today we have a chef here who has worked with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. He was with Ramada Inn and Best Western in United States as chef de cuisine, Turtle on Beach Kovalam as executive chef, and also as an executive chef in Mahendra Resorts, Poowa. He is one of the senior most executive chefs of the Kerala region, and he has been actively involved in the South India Culinary Association and Indian Federation of Culinary Association. Chef, we are very happy to have you today for the webinar session with our students. Students are joining, and it is a wonderful experience to have you, Chef, amidst us to share your experience in the hospitality industry and in particular with the food production department. Welcome you, Chef, and over to you, Chef, for the session.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure to be, especially the AJK College, because last time I've been there for your tea festival and one of the annual fairs. I remember it was a great event, and it is a great pleasure that you people are doing the culinary education in such a new level. That is very good to hear that one. The products which is coming out of the college also having that grace marks in the industry. So I hope it will continue with your able and noble supervision as the chairman of the group of the college. And I am very thankful to invite me to conduct this webinar, because in the time of this pandemic, as you know, we all are locked down in the places where we are. There are restrictions to go around. There are restrictions to go meet people, mingle with people, and everything will be there. But still, we having our options are open. The information technology is such a level that we can have the education is uninterrupted even in this lockdown period, even in this pandemic period. So in this session, I would like to thank you, the manager, especially you, sir, also the management of the AJKCAS for inviting me to conduct this webinar. Shall we start, sir?
Yes, Chef. Yes, Chef. You can go ahead, Chef, please.
Yeah. Okay. Today the webinar topic is something, it is nothing but creativity brings identity. So as you know, it is a very vast topic and it is a very vivid topic, and it is unable to wind up in a it is not conclude in a 45-minute session, or it is a it will continue to a day session. It is a very vivid and very wide topic which we need to talk about. Lots of aspects which come around with the term creativity, the term innovation, and finally the term identity. So when we think about these terms, the creativity, we need to think about another term also, the innovation, and finally it will come to a conclusion. We will come to a conclusion about the identity also. So in this webinar, I will have a small PPT session, PPT presentation also will be there. It will be running in between. So we will need to think about what is creativity. We know everyone having such level of certain creativity in ourselves. Creativity is the ability to respond to all that goes on around us. We need to choose from the hundreds of possibilities of thought, feeling, action, and reactions and everything. So it is a final result. Whatever you need to create, we need to think out of the box. We need to come out of your orthodox thinking of the so this will be like this will be like that will be like this. So this is not possible. We need to come out from everything. We need to think out of the box. We need to act accordingly. We need to think something new. We need to feel something new. We need to show some action towards it. We need to accept the reaction from that one. For a unique response, that expression, everything, we need to accept it, and finally we will come to a final product that is something new, and that is a creativity. So creativity having a vast and to having a endless meaning towards the profession. So why creativity, or what is creativity? A creative person has to be, or a characteristic of a creative person. A person, I'll generally tell you before going to a topic, I mean, especially the professional, the culinary wise, I will give a brief description about the creativity in general. Who will be a creative person? We need to think about that one. A creative person will be, first of all, he will be curious. He will be very curious. He need to be curious about the things happening around him. He need to be curious about the information. He need to be curious about the knowledge. He need to be curious about the findings, expressions, everything. Seek problems. He will check the problems. He will find out the problems. He will analyze the problems and everything. Enjoy his challenge. It's a major thing. Challenge. You need to take challenge. Able to suspend the judgment. The pre-judgment will be there. Or something when we thinking about, oh, that is not possible here. This is like this. Why you want to change it? Or why you want to create a new thing? That is something, that the pre-judgment should not be there. Very important. Imaginative. He should be imaginative. He should imagine he should imagine something we cannot think about it. Should imagine up to the skies and sees problems as opportunities. Problems are arise when you think new things, when you don't have experience in certain things, when you are trying out new things, the problems will arise definitely. And finally, you should not, a creative person does not give up easily. He should not give up. Okay, one time he failed, second time he's failed, might be the third time he is going to gain it. The failure is a footstep of the victory. So you should not give up easily. So these are the main characteristics of a creative person. We need to build up these aspects when we are talking about the word creativity. And what is the need for creativity? That's a good question about the current thing. A creativity can solve any problems. If you are a creative person, if you can think out of the box, that creativity can solve almost any problems in your life. You will get new information, you will get new technologies, you will face new people, you face new challenges, you will be experienced with all these aspects. And finally, you will be matured enough to solve any problems in your life, professionally or personally. Also, creativity offers, or creativity brings employment and much better wages, much salary wise or anything. The creativity, the people, the companies, the firms looking for people who are having good ideas, new things, can implement new things, can change the old style, whatever it is. So that creativity offers employment, a better employment. Creative people can find jobs easily, because creative people always thinking about the changes, thinking about the new things in the life. So they can find new opportunities very easily, and you can be most exciting person, or you can do most exciting things in the life once you are creative. So this all, this all the major need for a creativity. So this creativity has an impact in your career when you are learning in the college, when you are, being studying into a new profession, before maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years into this college, you may not familiar with the topic what you are handling today. Now you're handling something different. Maybe you handle with science, commerce, or whatever it is. But now you're handling with something different topics, entirely different. Maybe the culinary science, the hotel management, the other departments inside the hotels, overall the tourism segments, the industry. This is something totally different topic. So in this topic, in this life, in this career, the creativity plays a very important role as you move on. So I will come to the professional wise. As a chef, what is the importance of a creative person? And also one more thing I forgot to tell you. I told one more word: innovation. Creative innovation. Many of us having a bad impression that both are same, because both are almost different things. What is the difference between innovation and a creative? Creative is intangible, can't be measurable, but the innovation can be measurable. Innovation is something putting some new ideas, putting some new techniques to the existing systems, or to the existing play of the role. And it can be judgeable, it can be measurable, but the creativity is something tangible, very tangible. It is, you can only feel that difference. It cannot be measurable in sense. So both having its own identity. So coming forward to our profession as a chef, it is very important that you need to be creative. You need to learn the things in a different way, think out of the box. So I will show you, I will go through a small PPT. We'll discuss the different aspects of the creativity in the profession as a chef, as a culinarian. Before that, I would like to say, I'm a chef, almost 25 years in the industry, spent more than half of the life in this industry now. And I always think this industry is a primary thing for me, and whatever comes in my life is all secondary. I was a passed out from 96, passed out from Srinivas College Hotel Management, Mangalore. In those days, it was very difficult. The colleges were the colleges who just have the education having very less options. Also, the products or the students who are coming out of the college don't have much options in and around, because I started my career in Bangalore, Oberoi. In those time in 90s, in the late 90s, the Bangalore has only 5 5-star hotels. In that place today, if you look around the wide vista of Bangalore, there are nearly 50 plus 5-star hotels and more than 500 reputed firms which having their own place in the hospitality industry. Now, the opportunities are very much today, and we as chefs having a tremendous opportunity. We having lots of scope to improve, lots of things to improve, within standing in our roots, without forgetting our roots, keeping the term sustainability and keeping the term nature. We look forward in a different way. We look forward to a better tomorrow. And you people who are taking the chef or culinarian as a career, you need to understand This is a passion. A chef job is a passion, it is not a job. It's not a job. If you are having a passion in your heart, and if you are in the passion to cook, or if you have a passion to taste good food, if you have a passion to accept the new things in the life, if you have a passion to test and try different things, if you have a passion to accept the critics and acknowledge, you can survive in this industry. There is no doubt. What today we are facing today, I'd say, we are considering the big amount of colleges in India, the students is passing out in such a huge numbers. But even today, the quality of education, what we looking forward, it is not matching each other. So the quality always has to bring with you. This 3 years or 4 years in the college, it's your teaching period, it's your incubation period, that the college, the management, the faculties will train you in such a way, will teach you in such a way that as a chef, what does in the kitchen? He preparing all the ingredients in such a level. He add up so many things, flavors, spices, everything to it, and he will make it into a final end product which will be delicious and delicate. In the same way, the college will teach you, train you in such a way. They will teach you the basics, they will teach you the fundamentals of the hotel management, the culinary science, the impact of the current scenarios and everything. They will teach you everything. They will prepare you from a raw material to a finished product once you stepping out of the college, and that's your responsibility to be well educated, to be make sure that you are a good product of the college and hold the flag of your college in the industry. So keep that in your mind. Keep this as a passion. We always think positive. We always be creative about your profession to be a successful chef. We'll going back to the session in the PP, the PowerPoint presentation. I will show you. I will go through certain slides. We'll be in a quick thing. I won't take much of your time. And also, as I told you in the initial stage, it is a very vast topic, and I'll try to shrink it as little as possible, and also to convey the message in the same way. So I hope this will be very much interesting to you. This can also be a lesson to you as a part of your career curriculum, and it will help you to build up your career as a chef, to build up a person with a creative, and also by that you will put your identity in the industry. You will put the identity for yourself in the for tomorrow as well. Creativity brings identity. That is our topic. I give a general information, brief about the what is mean by the creativity, what is all about your what it can bring your identity and everything. So creativity, what meant for a chef? That we need to think. What meant for a chef in the term of creativity? A creative chef is an artist with food who has ability to free the mind from any set norms and give greater meaning to food, and by that elevates the human experience to a new level. As I told you before, as a chef is an artist. We say it's an art. Cooking is an art, a combination of art and science, but mostly this is an art. So the chef is an artist who has the ability to free the mind. So whatever in the mind, what you learned in the mind, you have some set standards, set learnings in the mind from the initial stage. You may think that when you in your daily routines, if you think Your daily routines will be almost same. Early morning you wake up, some having a cup of coffee, some I should take a glass of water, and your daily routine you always set in your mind. Even small things, how to do it, how to when to do it. All these things you already set in your mind, and your brain is already tuned in such a way. For if you take a shower, which part of the body you put the soap first. That is every single day you'll be doing the same thing. You don't change that one, because the mind is already, the brain is already made up in such a way that you are doing so. So, as a creative chef, you should free this mind or any set norms in front of you to give greater meaning. So you need to think that one. When you free your mind, I'm not saying you're waking up in the, normally you're waking in the morning 6 o'clock. Today the chef told me to bring change everything. From today onwards I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock. No, that is not bring value to it. That is not bring value to it. What we mean is, when you're changing the mind, or when you when you set apart from the set norms, for what you need to achieve a greater meaning for that one. So in the time of food, you need to achieve or give a greater meaning to food, and by that elevates the human experience to a new level. So when you're creating a new thing, new food items, new techniques to the food, new presentation, new flavors, that will finally ends up to a new experience to your guest, to whoever you feed you, maybe in your house, maybe to your friends, maybe in the hotel to a guest, maybe to a VIP, maybe to a normal person, whoever it is. The food which is plated by you, which is presented to the guest, and finally the guest should have an experience in a new level. That is all about a creativity meant for a chef. And one more thing, when we think about the creativity, people, the laziness is always there. Even today, 25 years, I feel very much lazy when I am doing a new thing. I need to build up my mind every single day. No, you should do that one. We're having lots of time. I say, no, I am very busy here. Tomorrow morning I have to go 9 o'clock. I have to be in the hotel. I have to be there. I don't get break. I'll be coming back. Sometimes I take break, and I will be maybe sometimes having an evening busy schedule. I'll come too late, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever it is. I don't have time to think here how I can be creative, what I can do for your company, or I am not free, or this is not the time. Maybe tomorrow I will think about the creativity. Today I am fed up with my work. I'm tired. I have to go sleep. See, creativity doesn't have any time. Creativity doesn't wait for that perfect moment. You think that, okay, not today, yaar. Maybe 2-3 days after. The time is not come, yaar. Creativity, let me think about. The time will come. Then I will create something here. The creativity has its own time, and it will come, and I will think about it. No, creativity doesn't wait for that perfect moment. It fashions its own perfect moments out of ordinary ones. You need not to be a superior man. You do not need to be a superman. You do not need a perfect moment or a particular moment to be creative. It fashions its own perfect moments out of ordinary ones. The creativity comes out of ordinary ones in normal time, normal moments. So, think about the creativity in every aspect of your life, and think every single day about the creativity. What you create today, what you did something new today to your life. And what's in our DNA? What should be in our DNA? Chefs are inherently creative people who consistently looking for a way to express their creative ways. Chef. As a chef, we step into the industry. We think that, today the food presentation is like this. Tomorrow I want to change it, chef. I will show you a new presentation. Can you accept it? Can you do it? Or I want to try a new recipe. This recipe I got from my mom. I got from my grandma or some of my villagers, which doesn't exist anymore. We will try it. The chefs are inherently creative people who consistently looking for a way to express their creativity. We always had that expressions in our mind. Every single moment, every single day, that thing, it rolls out in your mind, in your brain. We need to express our creativity, express our own identity by experimenting with the fineness of ingredients. We need to express our creativity by experimenting the fineness of ingredients and flavors. So why you need the fineness of the ingredients? So when you have creativity, you should have fine materials around you. The fineness of the ingredients has to be there. The flavors you need to experiment with and push their palates in the process of creating something unique. Our palates has to push towards something unique. Whatever we tasted till yesterday, forget it. We going to experience new things. We going to taste new things. So we need to push up our palates to a certain level where we can create something unique and cutting edge, and by that to place a signature in every plate and in every dish. So finally, whatever we did in this way, finally where it will reach, we will place a signature in every single dish and every single plate. That should be in our DNA as a chef. This has to be our DNA. Why the chef to be creative? As the information technology is skyrocketed nowadays, I told you, when we were in the college days, we haven't seen a mobile phone. Internet was not there. There was very limited opportunities, very limited views around us, very limited experiences for us. If you want to try something, there is very limited resources around us. That's all changed now. Now it is the year of 2020. The century is 20 years is gone. And the information technology is skyrocketed. The technology has changed. The normal lifestyle of the people has changed. The employment level has changed. The earnings has changed. Everything has changed. The people's mentality also has changed. So it opened international vistas to everyone, every single one. In a click of your fingertip, you can be in any part of the world. You don't need to catch a flight to reach there. You can be virtually, you can be there. You can get any information. You can get any particular data about that region, about that food, about the people, about the culture, about the customs. You can get it within a fraction of seconds in your fingertip today. Also, the traveling segment has tangible towards the common man today. Everyone, people, even the people in Kerala, if you take, the people are very much interested in traveling. You can see the travelers, the number of travelers are getting more and more nowadays, leisure travelers, business travelers. The travel bloggers are traveling nowadays for only the purpose of capturing the experiences. So it's all accessible to the common man today. All this paved way to inheritance of new style, the cuisine and customs. So when we are traveling around the world, we may come to their customs, we can come to along with their cuisines, their styles and everything. We take lessons from them, we capture certain things from that one, and we'll come back to our natives and see around and in and around us, can we get it there or here. So especially in the field, in the case of food, people are looking more and more options to find out more unique things in their life. So we should be creative to satisfy these customers and these guests. By that, we will develop ourselves to the next level. Remember one thing, creativity is not a talent. You may be a sportsman, You are talented. You are a very good talented cricketer. You are a talented musician. You are a talented singer. You are a talented painter. But creativity is not a talent. But it is a skill that can be learned. This is a skill. It's a hand-on skill that can be learned through the years of experience. The creativity is not born with the person, or it is not a talent along with the person. It is a skill that can be learned with your experiences. So what do you have to do? Imagination is the beginning of the creation. Imagine whatever. There is no limit for the imagination. The skies are the limits. Imagination is the beginning of the creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. This is a famous quote by, I think, the Bernard Shaw. Imagination is the beginning of the creation, and you imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. So imagine, you imagine yourself, and learn new things. Try out the new heights. Also, an experienced chef, greatness is often evidenced by his or her development of a sixth sense when it comes to cooking. So we all know about the five senses. But for a chef, we need to create a sixth sense when it comes to cooking. And by that, this extra sensory perception will help you people to be more perfectionist and precise person. You need to have a sixth sense. You need to think what others don't think. You need to feel what others don't feel. So you need to have a sixth sense to capture what is unnoticed by the public or others. So an experienced chef has to have a greatness to develop his sixth sense to become more perfectionist and more precise. This is my 10 commandments for chef. For the budding chef who is learning in the college, I'll tell you these 10 commandments you need to keep in the mind to be a good chef, to be more creative, and also this creativity will help you in the business also. When you talk about the business, it's a very important thing. Now, creative, we are working in a firm, we are working in a hotel. We are doing lots of creativity. Many of your creativity are getting out of our control. Many of the creativity are getting noticed. Many of the creativity is turned to the innovation, and it is measurable. But finally, nothing is happening inside nothing is getting motivated in the sense of business. Our business is not picking up. Our restaurants are not picking up good. Whatever imagination, whatever creativity we done, our business is not bringing up. Our the reviews are not so great. People are not noticing us. We are not set apart from other hotels or our competitors. So we need to think about, if only there is business, we need to have a chance to have the creativity with that company. So business is also important when you're doing a creativity. This should the creativity should balance with the business. That I will tell you in detail in couple of topics in the coming slides. I think we're having some slides coming for what do you mean by that creativity with the business. So the 10 commandments for the chef is number 1. Establish a creative environment. You should establish a creative environment. You cannot you cannot work in your normal kitchens. or people you cannot work in the work in an environment where others are also working. You are not comfortable. You are not comfortable with the area where you're working. So first you need to think about establish a creative environment where I can work freely, where I can test my abilities or test my imaginations. Second commandment, always keep a kitchen creativity journal with you. I used to tell my boys here, not the boys coming from the colleges. Many of the colleges doesn't have a journal with them, or they may not, insist the student to, keep a journal daily, the training journal. We used to have in our colleges. Now it was a paka perfect. We need to have very strict. We need to have every single day journal has to be there. Every single day we need to have a sign with the supervisor. And the end of the week, it has to go to the HOD. And everything has to be perfect. But nowadays, we see in many of the colleges, I don't know, I don't think so. AJK will be having a proper this thing, I feel. But many of the colleges, even they don't insist the student to have a proper journal. I myself put a word in the last in the training thing. I won't sign a clearance to any trainees if they don't submit me the journal or the logbook before they leave. Once you finish the thing, I made it very clear. No trainees will get my clearance until they submit the creativity. Submit the daily logbook to me. So this is very important. When you're working in a kitchen, you will be experienced. We will be going through many other things which are so much which you are not familiar with you. So keep a kitchen creativity journal with you. Whatever coming in your mind, you note it down. Whatever coming the imagination, you spark any moments, anything. You create anything creativity when you're seeing something. Oh, I can change this to something next level. Okay, note it down and keep it. This journal will help you in many ways. I having some of my journals, some of my logbooks, some of my own works from my college. Still now, it is one of very helpful to me even after 25 years in this industry. Third commandment, notice what captures your imagination. Wherever you go, when you're wandering around your streets, when you're going around for a shopping in a supermarket, when you're going to a farm, when you're going to a market, you open your eyes. Okay, whatever you see, just keep on open your eyes and capture your imagination. Whatever coming in your imagination, anything matching with that one, you just capture it and keep it with you. Fourth commandment, enjoy the whole process. You need to be creative. If you want to be creative, you need to enjoy the process. Okay, one time you'll be going to fail. It will be totally hectic. It is very easy for me to follow my boss orders and do it in such a way. There's no headache. I don't want to take tension. I don't want to take risk. This is having certain fact of risk. Enjoy the whole process. Fifth commandment, be exceptional in every sense. Be exceptional in every sense. You should be exceptional when you're putting a dish in your plate. It has to be exceptional. Why KFC is so exceptional in from those days? Why some of the favorite food like that? If you think about that, if you go to the American culinary field, if you see some restaurants offers very good burgers, very good fried chickens. But fried chicken and burgers is very common to everyone. But what is exceptional is that is a matter. It plays there. Be exceptional in every single sense. And try new things inside and outside the kitchen. The sixth commandment is try new things inside and outside the kitchen. So if you're working in the kitchen, or if you're not working in the kitchen, you're going out to the home and everything, try new things every single day. Try out new things. Don't try the same old things. Just get rid of it. Try the new things inside and outside the kitchen. Seventh commandment, if it's classic, put your signature twist to it. Remember the word classic. When I always saying creative, but you should not forget the word classic. The culinary field, the classic having a major role in this culinary field. If you see, there are lots of classic dishes from years back, even today in many of the hotels menu cards. You see the prime rib of beef. You can see the roast beef with Yorkshire puddings. You can see the main lobster or whatever it is, classic dishes. having its own classic, whether anything, it's a classic painting, classic art or anything, it's having its own important. Don't change it, but she can change it to put by your own signature twist to that one. You can give a slight twist to that one to a new level without damaging its authenticity. Eighth commandment, flavor first and it lasts long. Flavor is a very important thing. Don't confuse with the flavor and taste. We'll coming to that a little bit detail in coming slides. Flavor is an important thing. You need to match up the flavors, and the flavor is the best. It will last long. Ninth commandment, focus to nature, history, and sustainability. You need as a chef. We need to have a responsible person. We need to be more responsible chefs to focus to the nature. What nature gives us, what brings back to the nature, what gives back to the nature. We need to focus about the history of the food. We need to focus about the story behind the food. And we need to focus about sustainability, what we can bring into the table without much harming, without harming our nature or without harming much. The time of the fast food culture has gone from from the starting of this century. The fast food culture it is coming down and down, and till from 1980s there is a movement called slow food culture is started in Italy. It has strong sense in the culinary field today, which is very important. They're looking for a sustainability cuisine. That means whatever available in your local cuisine, whatever availability in your local garden, local area, you will get it from that one and get new items, new things in your menu without much harm, without much thinking about something coming from miles and miles from the other part of the world, either harming the nature, putting more carbon imprints to the nature and everything. So think about the sustainability, think about the nature, and also the history behind the food. The 10th commandment, take action on your best ideas. Okay, you put all your actions in this thing, best ideas, and take action on your best ideas and make them a reality and build an experience. Make them a reality. So you put all your actions on your side, you put best ideas into action and build an experience for the people. So this is the 10 commandments which we need to keep in the mind. I hope people used to have the small notes about these all things. You need to keep this in mind. Coming to the 5 essential behaviors required for creativity, you should be a person who is associating. You should be a person, associating with the people, associating with the problems, associating with the things. So these all things you need to come up in the mind. You need to be more associative. Second thing, you need to be more questioning. The questioning ability has to be there. Posing theory that challenging to the common wisdom. Question the things. Why it is like this? Why it should not be like that? Should be observe the new things. Fourth one, networking. Should mingle with the people. You should do fellowships. What are those doing? What we are not doing? And we should be, fifth one, we should experiment with the new things. So these are 5 essential behaviors required for creativity, and this you need to keep it in mind. So we can continue, no? Listen.
Yes, Chef, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, Chef.
So this, I think, whatever topics is, as I told you in the initial say, it's a very vast topic. We need to discuss more and more in depth, in detail for a day. So it will be a big topic, but we can think about in this 45 1-hour session, whatever getting in your mind, please note it down. Please act accordingly, and this all will help you in your future career, definitely, because we need to be more creative. So if you want to be creative, what all things we need to keep in mind? The 10 commandments I told you, the 5 essential behaviors we require. These all things we need to keep it. We need to keep it as a culture in your mind. Every single day, waking up in the morning, we should strongly withhold these cultures. That is a very important thing. The creative process in the kitchen. We're coming to that one. The creative process inside the kitchen. You can see a beautiful picture over there. It is not a painting. It is a dish. It's a one of the fine dining dish. It's a blackberry verbena trio. It's a gel marshmallow and a sorbet, a combination dish. You see how well it is placed in a plate, in a platter. It's like something like a painting. It's like something like a classic painting. What we are seeing, the people don't recognize what it will be, what it meant for. It's something like a painting you see out there. See, this is the creation, the creative process in the kitchen. So the creative process in the kitchen, we're having 3 steps inside the kitchen. The first step is mastery. What is mastery? Mastery means mastery in a single term. What we can define it, it is acquiring knowledge, skill, and control. Mastery means develop your palate and ability to do. Determine the excellence of ingredients and also make them taste delicious. Mastering means acquiring your basic knowledge, the skill, the control, and able to deliver the best thing. So what all things we need to keep in mind, the term mastery comes. Mastering the fundamentals, studying the past, learning by coping. These all three terms, three subtopics you need to keep in mind while doing the mastery. One is the mastering the fundamentals. What do you mean by mastering the fundamentals? You cannot be a creative person without having a fundamental knowledge, without having a knowledge of the basics. So you should master your fundamentals first. You should be literate. You should study the great things. You should learn the great things and emulate their standards and try to inculcate their standards. You need to season the food. You need to seasoning, how a food can be seasoned, or how a taste can be made, or how a dish can be perfect in a proper way. So mastering all these fundamentals, learning to taste is there, learning to taste is a very important thing. So all this what I told you. You need to be literate about the basic things. You need to study about the great things. You need to study about the how to season. You need to study about how to taste it. You see musicians and everything, every single day when they are operating their music equipments, they will tighten the strings. They will having their music pipes and everything to check their the chords and everything, the rhythms and everything. They will make perfect before they starting any art form of that one. So we need to get into that knowledge, that fundamentals about the food, the flavors, the taste, the ingredients, the fineness of the ingredients, everything. Whatever coming means the fundamentals means, the fundamentals also has an importance of the quality of the materials, the raw materials. It is having importance of the flavors. It will be changed from region to region. It will be changed from place to place. So all these things you need to identify. You need to think about particular items. So if this has to be only cooked like it will only to stir fry. This has to be only if it will taste only when it is pan fried. It tastes only if it's having less masala, less spicy. I remember one of the Japanese farmer was I read a story. One of the Japanese farmer was selling aubergines to the customers, and he always say, my aubergine is only to grill it with a little salt. Don't cook it. He said only to those customers those restaurateurs who will follow his command. He say, my aubergine is therefore only to grill it with a little salt on it, nothing else. Or can have a little lemon also, no problem. If you want to for any other purpose, please don't buy my aubergine. So you need to identify what ingredients is good for what purpose. So mastering the fundamentals is very important thing. Studying the past. So what studying the past is very important. We always say, look behind you. Always think about from where you step into this shoes, from where you are coming. Studying the past is very important. How a product has evolved, how a product, how a food came into the existence, how this was created, how it is presented in the past. It's all things studying about the past of that particular thing. We need to be, many of the classic items are, invented or evolved through accidental ways or through in particular occasions. Might be it was prepared for a special person and he liked it. For example, fish melba or something, or Caesar salad, or Waldorf salad. So all these classics are, evolved and it came into this our menu card by it is all invented in a particular sense or a particular person, and it is become a hit, and it is it is still continuing after years and years and years. So we will need to study the past about the food. Next, we need to learn by copying. So we are juniors now. We are not much creative now. We are we are acquiring the knowledge. There is no worry about learning by copying. You need to copy others now. So what he does with that chicken? He before roasting, putting in the oven, he put it in the pan and he seared the juices. He seared the juice, then he put inside. So he put a little lemon in the fish before grilling it. So these all things, small things you learn by copying, and by that the creativity will unfold. The mastery. In these three sections, I told you the first one is a mastery is very important. That is your base. This is your base. From this base, we will move to another two levels. So, the first level, you acquire the knowledge, basic knowledge. You get the skill, and you get the control of the food. So, mastering the fundamentals, studying the past, learning by copying. You are mastered now to moving to next level. Next level is alchemy. So what is alchemy? Alchemy is converting the common into precious. I remember the novel by famous Brazilian writer Paulo Coelho, Alchemist. It's a very interesting novel. Very, very, very interesting story. And it is, the alchemy. That's the time when I heard first time about the word alchemy. So, what is alchemy? Alchemy is converting the common into the precious things. Alchemy is a stage at which you begin to improve your own skills in your own, your own dishes, your own cuisine, your own styles. This is a stage where you are going to improve your own will towards your new dish, towards your new cuisine, towards your new style of preparation or anything. For this, there will be four sub-steps. That is, one is the evolution of the classics. As I told you, the classic, the word classic coming very often in between in my talks. Even why? Because even today's Ramada Resorts Kochi's main restaurant, Fennel's multi-cuisine restaurant. The Fennel restaurant, in the first page, say this menu is built upon classics. I pulled out all the classic dishes from yesterday's, from the yesterday years, bring up to the restaurant. If you see all the classics from yesterday years to today. So evolution of the classics you should learn. Taste evolved, and chef, existing dishes to match to the new taste. They should think about the new things, a new way to how we can present a new style or new way or new taste. We can bring it, not an issue, without without spoiling the dishes. Or you can deconstruct the dish. For example, you can deconstruct, what all the ingredients are using. So with that same ingredients, you can change it to a new, new dish with this existence classics in that one. I remember about our, Greek salad rolls. Nothing but the Greek salad. Everyone what is Greek salad. It is cucumber, onion, tomato, Kalamata olives, feta cheese, lemons, olive oil, and everything. This everything, it is rolled in a slice of cucumber. Because we deconstructed the recipe, we created a new thing without spoiling the classic touch of it. So we need to have a evolution of classics. We need to have a change on the classics with the limited. If you are very confident that you can change the classics, that with a new height, think of heights. Next thing is converting food through flavors. The conversion of the food through flavors. How we can convert with the new flavors. How we can convert with the adding up the flavors, balancing the flavors. The symphony of the flavor is very, very important. So converting food through flavors. The best chef develop their own method to improve this skill. They play with the ingredients dynamically. They play with the ingredients. They play with the flavors. They playing the chords of the, playing the chords of the taste. So converting food through flavor is very important. Here is a stage that we need to be in such a level to convert the food through flavors. Next, the flavor dynamics. The other level of knowledge. After mastering all this to prepare classic dishes, the flavor dynamics you should learn what all the flavors is matched to which dish, which items, which raw materials. The flavor dynamics is a very unique thing. That thing you need to keep in the mind. The flavor dynamics will bring you to a next level. Other one is the flavor equation. So it is very important, the flavor equation. I remember I told you, don't confuse with the taste and flavor. So flavor equation, what is it? What is a flavor? A flavor is equal taste plus mouthfulness plus aroma plus the X factor. So what is a flavor? The flavor will be a combination of taste, the mouthfulness, the aroma, and the X factor. The X factor is very, very important. So taste is what? The taste is, what are the tastes of salt, sour, sweet, bitterness, and there is a fifth taste also. It's there now in Eastern cooking. It's the umami taste. That is a very, it's a very important taste in Japanese and the Oriental cooking. The umami taste. So these are the 5 tastes. So taste plus mouthfulness. Mouthfulness means the temperature of the food plays a major part in that one. The temperature plays a very important thing. The mouthfulness, the temperature, the texture of the food. How it will be, what is the texture? What is the consistency? The texture. The texture, how it will be? Is it chewy? Is it flaky? Or whatever it is. The texture, the piquancy of the dish. The imaginative what? The piquancy of the dish. And the astringency. It all will be into the mouthfulness. It all create a mouthfulness to dish. Next, coming to the aroma. The aroma is coming from the different herbs and spice herbs and flavors. Another is the X factor is the, that is a very important thing. The other physical, emotional, mental, experiences or spiritual factors. These all things can come. This all bring together. These all four things. Taste, mouthfulness, aroma, and this X factor. The physical, feeling about the food, the mental feeling about the food, the spiritual, the emotional thing. It's all balance. When you say the emotional thing, you may be emotional once you get the food from someone else. Once you very much sentimental about the food. When you say my mom cooked like this for me, all these things. So these four things will play a very important things in the flavor equation, that is in the flavor. That is, this all combined together known as flavor. Don't confuse with flavor and taste. So flavor always brings when taste, mouthfulness, aroma, and this X factor combines together to such a level, then only the flavor will bring. So that is the flavor equation. That is the second second step, the alchemy. It's all for terms for process. We need to be in the mind to converting the common things into precious one or into a better product. The evolution of the classics, converting food through flavor, flavor dynamics, and the flavor equation. And finally, the third step, the creativity. So here it's come your creativity. What is creativity? Making something new and valuable. You have now copied many things. You have copied dishes. You have also converted dishes. In your previous step, your first step, you copied dishes. In the second step, that is in the alchemy, you converted dishes. The third step, the creativity. Now you are going to make your own creativity or your own dish, your own cuisine, your own palate, your own plate. So this is your stage where you reach to the top. That is the creativity, making something new and valuable. Here you need to remember one thing. Here you need to cook with all your senses. You need to cook with all your senses. That is very important. You need to open up your sixth sense as well. You need to put your maximum efforts, maximum dedication, maximum sincerity. You need to cook with your heart. That is very important thing. So, cooking with all your senses is very important for this final secure this stage creativity. You need to identify the five W's. What is 5 W's? Who, what, when, where, why, and also how of creating a dish. When you're creating a dish, or you already doing alteration to a dish, or you deconstructing a dish or anything, you need to know about who invented, who created, who made this one, who this thing, for what he made, or what purpose was meant for that one, when it was made, when it was placed, when it was served, or whatever it is, where it was done, and why it's so, and how it is constructed, how it is made. In such a way, you need to all these 5 W's. You need to remember who, what, when, where, and why, and how of creating a dish. Evolving to interdependence. Evolving to interdependence. In the first stage, you remember, I think, first stage was what? The mastery, you were on dependence mode. In the second stage, the alchemy, you are in the independent mode. Now in the final stage, the creativity, you are in the interdependence mode. So you can do whatever you want to do it to create the best things in your life. So these 3 things you need to create you need to keep in the mind. You need to think about before going to have a creative mind. You need to think about that one. mastery, alchemy, and the creativity. Whatever step we followed, think about it, evaluate each and everything very constantly, build up the sense of on that one to be in the top of creativity. And don't forget, there is never one good solution, but there are always solutions. Don't think that one, oh, he already created something, so there is no scope for me. There is not only one good solution, there is not only one good creativity, but there are always solutions. There are always the solutions that this is open for always. And finally, it's coming to the identity. It's coming to the term identity now. When you're following all these things, it will bring you, or it will take apart you from the group of people, like you see in the picture. A group of people, there's one face who are set apart. The fact of being who or what a person is. So once you have created so much things, once you have put so much dedication, so much sincerity, so much your heart on that one, you created new things, you put in the plate, you put a signature on the plate that will last in the guest mind for having it in the mind. That will bring an identity. There are so many dishes, in the world who still having the person's identity, the chef's identity on that one, who made that one. And every single chef has to have a goal that one. You should create your own identity. You should create your own identity to be a successful person. Cooking is an art. I told you in the beginning. It's like a painting. I'm concluding this with this one. I am concluding that one. I'm not switching. I think it is almost 1 hour now. So, cooking is an art. It's like a painting or singing a song. Just as there are so many colors or notes, in the cooking there are only so many flavors. It's how you combine them, how you create a new level, how you find the right symphony with them. That sets you apart, and that brings you the identity that I am. Okay, that's it for this session. I hope you all are catching up with me. I couldn't see the start on the screen now. Okay, in between the screen was it gone blank. I hope the session was a little bit useful. Something not with the regular topics or anything. It creates a spark on the mind in the people, in the students. That spark, you need to keep it up. That spark, you should not let it go. That spark, you need to keep up throughout your life. Not only while studying in the college, not only while joining to a hotel. This qualification is not to join in a hotel, or not to join, or not to get a job, to get a life for you. You need to remember that one. Be with the college, be with the faculties, be with the persons who give the resource people who are training you, who are grooming to a new world, who are grooming to such a person, nice person, a promising person for tomorrow. Always think we will be the same way. We will be having a responsible chefs. Think back about our nature. Very important thing. Even today we are so much worried about our nature. I always put a word in my every webinar, in my every classes, topics and everything. I always put in every single briefing. I always tell about the word nature. Always keep the word nature, keep the thing in the mind. Whatever nature gives us, it is tremendous. We have to keep that one for our next generation. That is a very important thing. We need not to spoil that one. Where the great poet William Wordsworth once told that one, the nature will never betray the heart that loved her. If you love the heart, if you love the nature very well, the nature will bring back the prosperity to you in your career, in your life. If we spoil the nature, we are seeing nowadays, we are seeing around us, the pandemics, the other chaos, other problems, other natural disasters, everything, whatever coming. It's all man-made calamities now. So be a good person, be responsible for tomorrow's good future, as a true citizen, as a responsible chef, and all foremost everything, be creative and put an identity on yourself. Thank you very much.
Chef, there is one question which is there in the question and answer chat box.
Okay.
Can you read it, Chef?
One second. Yeah. Chat box. Chef, can you explain the whole procedures and certificates needed to join cruise? Okay. Cruise line is one of the promising, careers nowadays. People are very much interested in the cruises, and cruises open a very vivid vistas to everyone. If you're having lots of opportunities, not only to work with the cruises, it give a ample opportunity to you to see around the world. That is a very important thing. My foremost thing I still remember, I was 6 years in the cruise line. I was with the Royal Caribbean Celebrity Cruises. I started as a assistant cook, and I was there till I got the letter of a junior sous chef, but I didn't work as a junior sous chef in the cruise, but I moved to the land, United States. The cruise line is very much important, but whatever see around, maybe you see people went into the cruise line, they sent you photographs, they were in front of the Paris Eiffel Tower. I remember I was in Paris, I went to the top level of the Eiffel Tower, I put a name of myself there. All these things, people always think about all these good things, but the cruise is one of the toughest job, in the overall in the industry. You need to be don't think about cruising or cruise jobs initially in your career. Think about I'll tell you, I'll come to the question only, but I'll give you some hints about that one. Once I am telling you, you need to have a strong base. You need to have a strong base about the cuisines or whatever you're specializing. You need to have a strong, thorough practice. Whatever 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever you're learning in the college is not sufficient to to groom into a chef or a culinarian or whatever it is. It's not enough. You need to have practical experience, and that practical experience you will get only from the hotels. What we having over here in India, especially if you go abroad or anything, you won't get that chance to learn it. So first, your intention in the mind should be, you should learn the fundamental things. You should learn the basics. You should learn. You'll be thorough with the. You should master the basic things before thinking about going abroad, going cruise lines. Okay, cruise lines. You don't need to the same qualifications, experience, maybe a couple of years. Nowadays they're asking for 2 years in a 5-star hotel or anything. They are 2 or more years experience. Some are asking 5 years experience and everything. It is there. Cruiser, they depends upon. There are so many cruises nowadays. There are lots of agencies are working in Chennai, Mumbai, Goa, and everything. Lots of agencies are there. Lots of opportunities nowadays. It's a pandemic now. I think it is till October or September. October to November something. It is all cruises are halted. So this is the qualification and the experience is the base thing. You need to have a seaman certificate. You need to once you need to go for a course there. They having some approved college institutes offering some 15 days or 15 days class. I think that they will brief you. That courses you need to attend in maybe some courses are there in Cochin, some are in Chennai and everything. You need to attend that courses. You need to attend that seaman certificate. You need to get the health certificate. You need to get pass the medicals. It's all basics. There's not much any other things you require. Only thing you need to get into the interview first. Once you get into the interview, second thing is the interview with the embassy is very important, especially it's the American cruises. That interview is very much important. So don't get panic in the interview. If you get panic in the interview, the people who are sitting inside the consulate or in the embassy, they have all the right to they will reject your visa. So it's very important to attend the interviews very confidently. Learn the basics. You need to be very point to the. You need to very specific to the questions and everything. You attend it. Before that, the agency will brief you what all courses, where you need to attend it, and what certificate you will be acquired. The certificate you need to this basic only. The 3-month certificates and everything. The health certificate, the medical certificate. This all be done. That is not a much hectic. But before you go, you need to prepare your mind to be a hard worker, hardcore worker. There is 7 days job. There is no much, not like a job in the hotel or restaurant. It will be very tough jobs. You'll be very responsible with that one. Especially the process is very, 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 very precise. So it is very thing. It's a good thing. A couple of years you can spend in the cruise. That is a good thing. But you always think cruise is your one of the last options. You take a good option in some of the best 5-star hotels in the country. You work with them for a couple of years, 3 or 4 years, 5 years is also good. I still remember my old days, my starting of the career with the Oberoi Bangalore. That is my base. Wherever I go, wherever I went, whatever it is, I built up from that base only. And then you remember, you need to put a base. You need to make a base from a good hotel with a good chef. That's a very important thing.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you for your very good session, and it was very, very useful, Chef. And I'm sure that students also would have got a lot of inputs from you. I would now request our head of the department, Mr. Jain, to propose the vote of thanks for the session.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
I feel it as a great privilege on behalf of Department of Catering Science and Hotel Management of AJK College to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank our resource person, Chef Soju Philip, for coming out with a wonderful topic, that is creativity meets identity. Beautiful topic. Because most of the time, like being a resource persons, would talk more on technical aspects of a chef. So here, Chef has enlightened the importance of creativity and the various ways of developing creativity, or how to inculcate or how to incorporate creativity in a chef's career or a chef's profession. That's a very important thing. Actually, today, people are understanding the importance of artistic mind of chef, the creativity of a chef. Thank you, Chef, once again. Apart from this, actually, I'm also glad to thank you because I am also an alumni of Srinivas College.
Oh, great.
I passed out in 95, maybe near senior to you. In that way also, I'm so glad
95?
Yes. Belong to
Why couldn't we know you?
Yeah, he's my immediate junior, I think.
That's a great surprise there. I am 96 pass out, yeah.
All right, Chef. That's also a wonderful thing to express. Now I thank our beloved secretary, Dr. Ajit Kumar Lal Mohan, for organizing this event with a wonderful resource person, with a beautiful topic. And it was really productive and enlightening, as well as informative to all the students, as well as to we people, we the faculty members. Thank you, sir. And I also take this opportunity to thank our principal, my colleagues, and my dear students for actively participating in this very productive and effective webinar session. Thank you all once again.